Let me say that I am confident that I never sent nor received any information that was classified at the time it was sent and received.
All right, folks, there she is. And is that Clinton speak? Well, Patrick J. Buchanan, former Republican presidential candidate, former Nixon and Reagan staffer, author of The Greatest Comeback, is with us. Pat, welcome. And is that, just another example of, depending on what the meaning of the word is when she says never sent any classified material that was classified at the time?
I think that Hillary Clinton's got a major problem, and I think the Democratic Party has a major headache. Look, 4 out of 40 of those documents that they got contained classified information, and as I understand it, 2 of them contained information that was top secret. How many more of the documents that she had on her private server contain that kind of information? I think she's going to first have to lawyer up, and secondly, if it's proven that she really has misspoke and very possibly deliberately misspoke, then you're talking about a potential problem with the Department of Justice and a possible indictment down the road. I mean, we have 18 months between now and next November, and the Democratic Party is going to be walking through a minefield that entire time. If I were senior Democrats, I'd be telling Joe Biden to start throwing hard in the bullpen.
All right. Can you count, though, on this Justice Department to conduct a fair investigation? What if there's something in the emails that they find that, for instance, is embarrassing or even more than embarrassing to Obama? I mean, can we be confident this will be adjudicated correctly?
I think you can be confident something might be leaked. I'm sure there are people over there, if you come across explosive material in a bureaucracy, that people can leak it out. I mean, that's what Watergate, after all, was leaks from Mark Felt out of the Watergate grand jury. And I think leaks could come out of justice. But again, when I say you're walking on eggshells and you're going through a minefield, if there's more and more top secret or secret documents that they find on these documents in her private server, I think it's a hellacious political problem for her. She's already lost dramatically, and in terms of support, her credibility and trustworthiness is upside down in the polls. So I think this is a real headache for the Democratic Party.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. All right, let's move on and let's talk about Donald Trump. First, I want to ask you, I don't know if I've ever asked you this or if this has been addressed. When Donald Trump first came out and made his announcement and he mentioned the Mexicans and the immigration, a lot of people started, and I want your view on this, started saying this is like, he's the Pat Buchanan of his time. Did you hear that? Do you buy that? Do you think obviously it was meant kind of in a negative way? It was coming from the people on the left. But do you see any parallels between Trump and yourself?
Well, certainly. I mean, of course, we're very different men, and we've had different experiences, different careers, and different philosophies in the past. But let me say this. Donald Trump started out raising 2 issues: massive illegal immigration across our southern border, and trade deals that have deindustrialized America and basically built up foreign countries like Mexico and China at the expense of American workers. Those were the issues we ran on in the 1990s, again and again and again. So sure, I saw those issues and used those issues, and I think he's using the same issues today, where he's got a bit of it, and one real advantage is the American people have seen the consequences of the inaction of the Republican establishment in dealing with those problems.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Now, as far as your piece where you talk about what Fox News did, I sat there in total disbelief as Megyn Kelly launched into her personal vendetta to get Donald Trump. I thought they treated all the candidates poorly. I think even in the lesser debate, if you will, the prequel, every question was basically blah, 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 blah. So what the heck are you doing here running for president? I think they were after all of them, but nothing compares to what they did to Donald Trump.
Well, I think that's correct. I mean, what is the role of, many questions. Look, if Donald Trump, as he said, has got 500 companies and 4 of them went bankrupt, and the people that invested in them went bust, and some small investors went bust. That's what happens in business. It's a legitimate question, but is that the function of a moderator really to be basically taking these attack ads and rolling them up into questions the front runner for the Republican nomination. So it seemed to me the role of moderator is one that should desire to get the Republican candidates debating with one another on areas where they've got disagreements, so the Republican Party can decide. I mean, it's not leading the attack.
So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, we've seen what the aftermath of the debate has brought us, and that is that Donald Trump is basically steady or has risen, or in some cases maybe has lost a point or two in specific states. But what is the staying power of Donald Trump? What's his future in this race, in your view?
I think he is so strong now that unless there's something really disqualifying and explosive, I think that Trump virtually is guaranteed to be the outsider insurgent candidate going into the semifinals and the finals for the Republican nomination right now. I mean, I can't recall an insurgent candidate who was this strong at this point ever since, say, Ronald Reagan, and he was even partly an establishment conservative candidate. So I think Trump really moves toward the into the finals here, or the semifinals easily when we get to January, unless something happens.
Let me ask you about this Bernie Sanders phenomenon. I mean, you know, Pat, 27,000 people in an arena in Los Angeles. I mean, that's, I don't know if they pick people off the street. I doubt it. That's pretty significant. But I also want to ask you about this Black Lives Matter crap that's going on, where they're rushing the stage, threatening what we saw with the Bernie Sanders, coming into the podium, taking the microphone, saying, give us that microphone or we're shutting you down, threatening them. Nobody arrests them. No cops to be seen.
Well, you know, this is, we saw this is like the 60s. I remember Hubert Humphrey back in the fall, in September after the Democratic Convention, September of 1968, he had crowds shouting him down even when he was with Teddy Kennedy so that he could not speak. I mean, as I wrote in the book on Nixon's comeback, I mean, if there's anything close to fascism, it's denying people a right to speak and a right to be heard, even those whom you brought into your assembly. But I'll tell you, Black Lives Matter and people doing that. Look what they did to the O'Malley.
Yes, they made him apologize.
He said Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, all lives matter, and they booed him. Let me say this. I think those people doing that are isolating themselves from decent people all over America when you deny someone who basically agrees with them on economics a right to be heard.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Pat, always great to talk to you, my friend. Speak to you soon. And, of course, folks, the book, The Greatest Comeback. Thanks, Pat.
You take it easy. Bye-bye.
You too. All right, folks, when we do come back, it'll be the Malzberg panel with Jonathan Tobin and Christopher Hahn. Should be interesting. Don't miss it.